This is a true story. In April 2003, explorer Alan was rock climbing in a canyon when he accidentally fell. During his fall, his right hand got caught under a large boulder. Alan tried to pull himself free, but the rock didn't budge. He endured the pain and tried to move the rock with his left hand, but it still wouldn't move. He kicked at it with his feet, shoved it with his shoulder, and even tried to use his body weight to push it, but nothing worked. Alan screamed for help, but there was no one around in the canyon, not even any wildlife in sight. He began to examine the contents of his backpack: a climbing rope, a DV watch, a folding knife, and half a bottle of water. Using his small knife, he started chiseling at the rock wall, but after several hours, all he had managed to do was chip off some insignificant rock debris. He noticed that the blade had become dull, and now it could only be used for sharpening. He worked from day into the night without drinking any water. Finally, he carefully twisted open the bottle cap and took a small sip. His legs were growing weak from standing for so long, and he knew he needed to come up with a plan. Alan took the climbing rope and attached it to a rock protrusion, then tied the other end around his waist to help distribute his body weight. He jabbed at his arm with the knife, but there was no feeling left. After being trapped for 24 hours, the cells in his arm began to die. That night, he bundled everything he had to keep warm, opened the last packet of bread, and ate a small bite. He drank a little more water, then spent the third day trying to find a way to escape. Alan wrapped the climbing rope several times around the boulder, securing it tightly. He connected it to the rope above using a carabiner, creating a rudimentary pulley system. He pulled with his hands, pushed with his feet, and used his body's momentum to try and move the rock, but it still wouldn't budge. He began to analyze his situation, taking out a straw and tying it around his arm to stop the bleeding, then tightening it with the carabiner. He took out his knife, plunged it into his arm, and blood began to pour out. But the bone was too hard, and he couldn't cut through it. He used all his strength to break the bone, and the first one snapped. He continued, and the second bone broke as well. He laughed to cover the pain. After an hour, Alan finally succeeded in severing his arm. The limb was left wedged in the gap between the rocks. He quickly bandaged the wound, grabbed his gear, and prepared to leave. Alan took a photo of his severed arm, turned, and walked out of the canyon.